Hang on. Let me just... It's gonna take me a second to get comfortable. The healing pots closed my wounds, but the pain is still there, you know? Of course, you know, look at you. You're almost as beaten up as I am. Okay, here we go. Maybe another pot just to sip on. At least they taste good. I can't imagine trying to choke one of these down if it tasted like dirt. Now then, you good? No outstanding wounds or other ailments after all that? Good. Get comfortable then. It's time for the post-mortem. It's just a saying. No one is actually dead, not for lack of trying. It's a rehash of how the mission went. Things to improve, stuff like that. What, did you not think we were going to talk about it? This was your first real mission, and you were the leader. We have to go over what you did right and wrong. Otherwise, how can you learn? I mean, of course you always learn a lot just being down there, but talking about it helps too. Oh, the rest of the team, you mean? I sent them home. They don't need to be here for this. Trust me, I already know their opinions. They were quite vocal about them. And I'm authorized to pass those along to you, so strap in. We're gonna have a talk. Listen, I know it's a lot, and you've come a long way from that inexperienced adventurer who toddled in here with the worst gear possible. You look the part now. You're stronger. You've been training. You've learned how the guild works. But you can't just languish in here forever. You were as ready to go on this mission as you could be, and I was happy to send you. We knew this would be a learning experience. I wasn't expecting perfection from you, far from it. I just wanted you to do your best, and you did. So now we can talk about what that means, what you can work on, next steps. Got it? Just relax, you're not in any trouble. As far as future missions, we'll talk about that too. But we really need to go over what happened today first. And I'd like you to take notes. No, you'll want to write some of this down, I insist. You can't have this. This is the official report. I filed this with our archives. Oh yeah, it goes into the record forever. So you see why it's important to go over the ups and downs of the experience. This, like everything else here, is a chance to learn. So just get ready to learn some stuff. Got it, sweetness? Breathe. It'll be fine. I know it looks kind of scary and official, but that's just because of the Guildmaster stamp. It's shiny, isn't it? Makes it look fancy. Alright, let me get going on this. Mission on this date, blah blah blah, we know all this. Party members were you, me, Armich the cleric, Baton the monk, and Cormac the ranger. That's not spelled right. 1 second. There we go, that's the party. Any notes so far? Good. So, let's go through this chronologically. First off, the journey to the caverns. That was uneventful, at least until we got to the edge of the mountains. Then we encountered goblins. How many were there? Do you remember? Yep, that's correct. That's good. You paid attention. Always good to get a count of how many are against you in a battle. So that's a good start. Here's the part where I start to get confused. You wanted our ranger to move forward into melee despite the fact that he's a ranged fighter. Ranger, ranged. It's literally in the name. Can I ask why you did that? Just because someone's a big guy doesn't mean you want to put them up as a meat shield. And you saw what happened, right? Cormac was mostly useless in that fight. He finally pulled himself back when you didn't tell him to back up, but not before he took a few very well-placed blows. Right, and having a cleric is great for healing, but you know what else Armich can do? He can tank. The guy is made entirely of health. Clerics tend to be pretty okay for that, so, you know, keep that in mind. Meanwhile, Baton, remember what I said about our little monk before we left? How she sort of needs to be reined in? Yeah, so how did that work out? Okay, well, look, I know it turned out okay in the end. Nobody in the party was seriously hurt. But it was a huge risk for her to just run in like that. And you didn't even try to stop her, you just watched her go. It was a 5-on-1. Where were you? The end doesn't justify the means, sweetness. Just because she managed to rip all their heads off and juggle them for our amusement doesn't mean it will go that way every time. We got lucky. Next time, one of the enemy might be the lucky one and seriously injure someone. You don't want to let any member of your party square up 5-1. That's madness. She always looks like she has it handled, but she doesn't always have it handled. Again, you were the leader. Keeping her on a leash was your job. Let's move on before I get frustrated. Okay, after that battle, we rested, and then into the caverns. Remember what happened in there? Bear in mind that all this just happened, and you're not going to get off the hook by pretending amnesia. What happened next? Right, and which way did we go when we came to that fork? And why did we go that way? Did you think to ask anyone if they had any sort of guidance spells, directional magic, anything like that? Right, because your gut feeling was worth more. Did that turn out to be the right way to go? No, it did not. What did we find down that path? Not just a lake. What was in the lake? See, the thing about caves is there are a lot of lakes and rivers and such underground, and most of them are full of very bad things. This was what I would call a very, very bad thing, and we should never have been anywhere near it. Now the really important part, was the creature awake when we got there? No, it wasn't. What woke it up? Think really hard, party leader. That's right, you threw a rock into the water. A very, very big rock. Why did you do that? Come on, be honest. You were showing off. You've been working out and you wanted us to see how strong you were. So you picked up the biggest rock you could and threw it in the water. Just don't lie to me, okay? I know you swore up and down that that wasn't the case, and you'll probably go to your grave insisting that you weren't showing off, but I'm not an idiot. I saw you, and there was no other reason to do what you did. So then we all ran like hell for our lives, and the creature followed us, and then I think saying we fought the creature is too strong a phrase. We flailed at it to slow it down. Now here you did something right. Armich suggested that he cast night vision so we could see better, and you agreed. That was a good move. We could see our death approaching much more clearly. I'm mostly teasing you. Just, the thing is, everyone was looking to you to lead, and they didn't want to step on your toes. But at this point, it was pretty clear that you needed the help. So what happened next? Right, the cave-in, which Baton and I orchestrated for you. We closed off the path to the creature and only got a little hurt in the process. Now we can only hope that there was nothing important down that path because no one will be using it again. Hey, it was a clutch decision and it worked out. You took the advice of your team and we managed to close the tunnel down without bringing it all down on our heads. That's something. Now, to the crystals. You want to tell me what happened in the crystal cavern once we finally found it? You sure? I kind of want to hear it in your words. Okay, well, in my words, you broke half the crystals on accident when you ran into an obviously magic cavern without checking for traps, triggered a massive boulder, and then fell into the crystals while dodging the boulder. I did say you did it on accident. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt on that, but still, magic places have traps. You know that, right? I didn't think it was something that had to be said. But then you just went in there, happy as could be, without even looking around. Do you have any situational awareness at all? Does your peripheral vision work? Hey, don't put this on me. I tried to warn you, but you were so far ahead and moving so quickly. I didn't know what the rush was. It's always better to be safe than fast, which I hope you realize now. So we got the few crystals that were left, mission accomplished, and then... Exactly, the other goblins waiting for us outside. That was fun, huh? Cormac, you mean? I told you, he's just like that. I promise he wasn't making actual threats in your direction, just idle ones. You can probably sleep fine tonight, don't worry about it. Okay, well, to your credit, you handled the goblin thing better the second time. Although we wouldn't have had to deal with them at all if we'd been sneakier on the way in. Hey, Baton wasn't exactly quiet about ripping their heads off. And then I think she juggled them right into the ravine, which most people would recognize as the direction the goblins came from. So yeah, that would be a solid tip-off to the others that bad stuff was going down. But you did better, so that's a point for you. I mean, mostly you used your words. You told people where to go and what to focus on. You held Cormac back, away from the melee, and you somewhat restrained Baton, although she might have also just been tired. I'm not saying the fight was a success. We didn't die, but we're all pretty banged up. And then when it was over, you did the stupidest thing you could have done when you blew that war horn you found. Why did you do that again? It's fine to be excited. It's an adrenaline rush when we survive a battle, but come on! You know you shouldn't just blow every horn or touch every amulet or recite every spell you find, right? Right? Please, tell me you know that. Well, in any case, after you did that, we had a very good reason to get the hell out of there as fast as possible, so we made our way back. Barely healed, but at least able to move. And we made it back inside the city before the next wave of goblins caught up to us. So in the end, it was a net positive of a mission, but... You know the but. You have a lot to learn. About trusting yourself as a leader, about managing your team, about not touching stuff. All of that is important. You have a long way to go. Not a failure. Again, we made it back alive and with the crystals, so I'd give this mission a solid C-. Not great, but passable. Don't look so happy. The only way to fail is to get people killed, which thankfully you didn't do. But next time you might not be so lucky. Yes, next time. I don't think you did badly enough to warrant getting benched forever. By the end, you seem like you were getting a feel for how things work. But I don't think you're going to be leading a group again anytime soon. Oh, no, definitely not with them. They were not pleased with you at all. Like I said, you'll be fine. No one will kill you in your sleep. But they also won't be saving you from any random bears or poisons or anything. Not for a while. Nope, no bears, you're fine. So next time, I'll put you in the party to contribute, but also to observe. I'll want you to see what the leader does, how they make decisions. You can ask questions even, but the key will be that you defer to them. You can make suggestions based on your abilities, but they make the final calls. Think you can go along with that? Good. No, God, not anytime soon. You need to heal. We all need to heal. And then you need to train a lot more, and also maybe read a few more books. Like the ones about disarming traps or not touching things. Read those books twice. Go on, sweetness. Go have a bath and a sleep. We can talk more in the morning. You didn't do half bad, you know. Nah, I know it sounds bad, but the devil's in the details. Overall, you got the job done, and honestly, that's a promising start. Especially for you. Hey, sweetness. Shout out to this audio's randomly selected sweetness patron, Hal. Thank you for making this channel possible. If you like my audios, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out the links in the description for all the ways you can support me, including my awesome Patreon. Thanks for listening.